Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome back to the Ramsey Custom Shop. This is Gary. As you guys have seen the last couple of videos, I've shown a few clips of me doing some machining and lathe work on this large Sydney lathe, and that's actually at the local machine shop in or near the same town that my shop is in. And you're taking a look at Mark here. Mark's the owner of Vertex Machine in Corsicana, Texas. And Mark happens to be a neighbor of mine. He lives probably less than a mile from me. But anyway, I'm back working at the shop today, at the machine shop, and I just grabbed a few random clips of Mark doing some of the type of work he does in his shop. And today, when I was there working on his lathe, he was working on this skid steer bucket, you know, cutting the I guess the teeth off of it, or getting those off, and getting ready to put a new floor in it. You'll see a little bit more about that. But we also took the time to do a shop tour and show some of his equipment and machines, and also give a little history about the shop and his dad and so forth. So I thought you guys might enjoy that, and I've taken some more clips as well of some other work he's done, and also some of the machining work I've done, and I'll have that in another video probably later this week. But anyway, guys, I'm going to let you take a look at the work going on, and then the shop tour, and then hang around for the end for some shaft straightening.
So what are you actually doing on this one? Are you putting a new floor in it because it's all rusted out in places?
Well, it's been replaced before.
So they wore it out?
Yeah, it's already been replaced once, and they just put something on top of it, it looked like, or it looks more like they put something on the bottom of it. But so we're gonna replace it the way it's supposed to go. We're gonna put a 1/4-inch plate in the bottom of it. We'll put a new cutting edge on it, and then we'll put all these new teeth on it.
So you came and tacked all these countersunk bolts in?
They were spinning, so we just
tacking them.
And they're full of, you know, years of
junk.
Years of use. They're full of asphalt and dirt and everything else, and a Allen wrench won't stay in it. So we're gonna try this.
You're going to replace the teeth, but these mounts you need to put on the new plate, right?
We need these mounts.
All right, let's see if she comes off of there now. Or will it break the tacks?
One or the other.
That was pretty precision with that torch there. There should be. All right, so you guys have seen me running this lathe here the last couple of days. I made a mistake on the last video, and Brian Block was quick to point it out. This is actually a Sydney lathe made in Sydney, Ohio, which is the same town that the Monarch lathe is made in, which that's a Monarch over there. But I'm here with Mark. He's the owner of the Vertex Machine Shop. And so what can you tell me about this lathe? Like, how long have you guys had it here?
Well, we've had the shop. It's been in my family since 1981, and I've owned it since '98. Vertex was started back in the late '60s by the gentleman who my dad bought the shop from, and the lathe, most of the equipment here came with the shop when he bought it. We've purchased a few items, you know, the saw, iron worker, welder, the CNC mill we've purchased since we bought it. And the lathe here, this was the story behind it was he bought this lathe at a military surplus, and it has the original plate on it. It was built in September the 27th, 1941. It's a 20-inch lathe, and
so 20-inch swing.
20-inch swing, and 10-foot lathe. And the story behind it was used on a Navy ship, and it does have, if you can see, it does have USN and numbers stamped on it on the chuck, as well as the cross feed here. But as you know,
so you guys have owned the shop since 1998. Is that what you said?
Since I've owned it since '98. My dad bought it in '81.
And it was here when you bought it?
It was here. We moved. I moved up here in 2000.
Okay.
Vertex was originally started. There was a shop. The man bought a shop in Hillsboro. He really didn't like the way it was set up. He moved to Arlington and turned it into a tool and die shop. And he moved back to Corsicana. That's where he was from. Moved back to Corsicana in 1972. And
so that's when this became.
That's when the shop was moved to Corsicana. He rented a building. He moved just down the road here and built the building. And that's when my dad went to work for him. And then my dad bought him out in '81.
Okay.
And then we were there till 2000. I bought my dad out in '98, and I moved to here, this location, since 2000.
So 2000's when you moved. Did you build this building, or had it built?
Had it built,
yeah.
Yes. There was an old shop here, an auto shop here, and I bought the property and the old buildings. I just tore them all out, and we built a new building. So.
Cool. Let's look at the Monarch over here and talk about it a little bit. I see you got a collet chuck on that one.
Yes, I use this one a lot for certain jobs, and usually the smaller shafts. And so I pretty much leave this one on here. It's a lot easier. It runs truer.
Yeah, you get a real true run out with that. And this is pretty cool. Is this something that was fabricated and added there?
This is just a guard. There's actually...
Did that come on it, or is that something you guys have
It
done?
comes on it.
Really?
It's
Okay.
an accessory that comes on it. There's also one for that one. We don't hardly use them.
I've never seen one of those. That's pretty neat.
Both machines, of course, they have the built-in pump, and they actually can run coolant.
For flood coolant.
But we don't, unless we're doing production, we don't hook the coolant up.
Right.
So.
Just dab a little oil or squirt some oil and go with it. Cool. And you got a little clausing.
Yes, this is for smaller jobs. We make a lot of small parts, and we leave the turret set up on it, and pretty much leave it like that. This is some parts we make. These are just standoffs. We make these parts on them.
I got you. So you turn down one end and threaded it.
Turn one in,
and is it threaded on the inside too? It is.
Threaded on the inside. And we also use a collet in here.
So you got a hex collet, or?
Well, here's all my collets
gotcha.
down there. So
I got you. And
we do have a 3-jawed for all of them, but and we occasionally put this on. But this one and the Monarch, mainly I leave the collets on.
And you got a 4-jaw for the big guy too.
4-jaw for the big one, and also for this one, the Monarch.
Okay.
And we occasionally, as you can tell, here's the 4-jaw in the floor.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
Yes, it's a chore to put in and out. So.
Yeah, I can imagine. So you got a couple of Bridgeport machines, or actually just one Bridgeport.
Well, they're both Bridgeport.
Oh, it is. Okay.
This is an upgraded version. This machine, I've still got the book somewhere on it. I think it was built back in the late '60s, probably.
Okay.
The Bridgeport was, as most people know, the Bridgeport was developed during World War II to build airplane parts, and it was such a good design that most of your meals today are copied from the original Bridgeport.
Oh, absolutely. Yep. So is this one underpowered? Are you using this one, or?
I use this one more or less as a backup. It's got a step pulley in it, and but yes, it does run. Maybe, yes.
Oh wow, really quiet spindle on that.
And
so you got your
main mill I use this is a 2-axis CNC. It's just the Bridgeport.
And this was made as a CNC. This is not a retrofit. I see
it's made
the Easy Track DX.
Easy Track DX.
And so you just write little lines of G code on this computer here, and
I just write. We don't have it turned on, but we write the programs as we do them, and then I'll keep notes. I'll keep all my programs, and I'll write the name of them, and so I can go back to them.
The other day he had a shaft over here that he was putting a pretty long keyway in, and he had wrote a little CNC program to cut that slot in there, and it was kind of unattended. So okay, here's your motor set up on it there on the X, or is that, yeah, that's the X, right?
X, yes.
And
X and Y.
And your Y motor is down there. And the Z, how does it move the Z?
The Z, it doesn't have a Z.
Oh, okay.
It's just a 2-axis.
2-axis, I got you. So you just manually, if you're taking steps.
This was the first machine I bought after I bought the shop, and all we ever owned was manual machines.
Right.
And we saw this, we at a tool show, we
get
liked the
over
way
here.
it operated, and we thought that, I told my dad, I said, if all else fails, we got a fancy manual. And of course, it's like everything else, 6 months after we owned it, we wished we'd have bought the 3-axis.
Right. So you guys bought this new, or?
I bought it brand new in '98.
Brand new in '98. Yeah. You remember what it cost?
I want to say the total package, which was the tooling package and all, was around somewhere between 28 and 30.
Okay.
Somewhere around 28 and 30,000.
And this is this the controller for the CNC here?
This is the computer.
I got you.
On the back. So
this is in really nice shape. I mean, one thing about Mark is he does take care of his machines, and they're all relatively clean. For a job shop that's running wide open, I mean, you're going to have stuff. I mean, that's how it is if you're getting work done. Somebody commented on my video one time and said, "You're not busy enough." And I said, "What do you mean? Your shop is always too clean. You can't be doing any real work over there." All right, so you got some other fab stuff over here. You've got a Piranha little iron worker.
Iron worker, yes.
So it'll punch and shear, and shear angle iron right there?
Shear angle, flat, and then it's got a notcher on the back.
Notcher, okay.
And then it will punch, and then there's also a 4-inch
little press
brake with it.
Little brake.
And there'll be a job coming up this next week where the total job will be done with this iron worker. I will shear this plate, punch the holes, and put the bends in it. The whole job. Right?
Out of some flat bar.
That part was made out of
Is that
3/8 inch and a half, 3/8 flat bar.
Inch and a half, 3/8 flat bar, yeah. And you got a bandsaw, little horizontal.
Little horizontal
This is a, what is this?
It's a Peerless.
Oh, or is oh, that's just the machine company there, Wisconsin Machinery. So it's a Peerless, okay.
Peerless.
It's got coolant on it, or?
Here's the
Oh yeah, gotcha.
right there. We flood it with coolant when we're using it, so it's not real clean, but it works great. Cuts within thousands. It
Right.
will saw within thousands. So.
My Ellis is that way too. It's these jobs I've been doing over here. I had these pieces cut 1/4 inch long, and it was way too long because I didn't need that much to true up the face of it. You know, it just didn't need it. Of course, these these here may be different, but. And you got just some general fab. You got your oxy-fuel, plasma cutter.
Welders.
Oh, and I saw you got an SA200. Is that normally, do you have that on a truck or something? Or
Well, I put it on a skid. I used to have it on a trailer, but
you don't really
it's
do
a
any.
whole lot easier to go in the truck. So I've had people help me time to time, and so one man that was helping me, we decided to put this on a skid. And we can take the forklift, set it in the back of the truck, strap it down, and go.
Yeah.
And it's and it doesn't tie up your truck.
Right.
So.
Right. So do you do any mobile jobs now, or not much, or?
Yes, they kind of come and go. Here a few years ago, it seemed like the whole year I was outside the shop.
Right.
We built a 60 by 60 barn, and then built a complete set of pens, alleys, the whole work, chutes, everything for that. That took us a month or so, and then we've done some ornamental fence work, and we just built it on the location.
I got you.
So,
and your press, is that shop made, or?
press, my dad built that press when he actually worked for the man he bought it from. So anyway, and there's a chop saw over there. He built it for the. He built it and then bought it back.
and so when you bought it from your dad in '98, was he still working with you?
Yes, he was at the time. That's when he was eligible to retire, and he was ready to retire. And so,
I got you.
So he sold me the shop, and then he continued to work for a few more years.
Okay.
And
he still comes by now, right? And
he comes by now, but it's more or less to sit and
hang around.
Hang out.
Yeah. I thought he's been up here the last couple of days, or last week one day.
Yes,
he was here.
yes.
Yeah. Good stuff. Well, Mark, appreciate it, and appreciate you letting me come hang out with you and use this fine machine here to do these little projects I got. Overcorrection?
No.
No. Oh, it is. Yeah, it's high there. Sorry. That's why you're operating this and I'm doing the commentating.
I need a long. It's just a long bow. What's left in it. It don't take a lot. You don't want to spring back. Takes more than that, though.
Yeah. Just sneaking up on it, huh?
We'll give it one extra bump. Probably too much.
Nah, you got it. No, it's still
got a little bit right
it's
there.
going back just at the end down here, isn't it?
No, it's rocking. It's
Oh, it
rocking
is?
right there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yep.
Might move it a little bit right
Looks good.
That will work. got to repackage